in no matter what happens. Good day to be in Victory Lane.
Green flag is in the air.
Driving with conviction.
Side by side, hammer down. The after-checks are lit. Count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out.
Wheel to wheels, they come to the
What
line.
a victory this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
Next lap is going to end it. Does he have enough? Holy cow, baby! A dominant performance.
You're gonna say no, baby. Let's go!
Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody pushing as hard as they can get it. One final shot.
Gotta earn this thing. Run here to the end.
It is all on the table.
A total 500.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sunday Night Showdown Truck Series live from the Legacy Atlanta Motor Speedway. Just getting ready to go under green, getting set here. Drivers getting ready to get rid up, and I'm Oscar Jensen, joined by Jacob Zala once again here for tonight's race. And Zala, we went to the newer version of Atlanta last week, and now we're at the older version, which is completely different from what we've seen. What do you think we should expect to see tonight?
Well, first things first, I definitely think the hotel people are mad at me this weekend. I definitely broke some glasses, but that's neither here nor there. We are back at Atlanta tonight, and this track is a whole lot different than the track we saw last week. Last week we saw a lot of super speedway racing. This week, we're not going to see that so much of that super speedway racing. We're going to see more slick and sliding. It's 130 degrees track temp. I'm sure you'll get to that here in just a second, but I'm going to go ahead and say that right now. So these trucks are going to be sliding around a lot tonight.
And we saw it last week. We saw an early incident right on the first lap of, speaking of sliding, we saw that happen. A little bit different circumstances, but we still saw an incident lap one, and that's going to be something that we're going to have to watch out for as well tonight. I mean, this track is super slick, super hot, and you mentioned it. We'll take a look at this weather display real quick. 87 degrees out, northeast, 3 miles an hour, and I don't know why it won't pop up or stay up, but we'll keep clicking it. Partly cloudy out, then track temp is 131. So, like you said, it's going to be hot and slick, and these drivers are hopefully had enough laps in practice to understand what this first lap is going to be like. We'll go ahead and go down our starting lineup here. Row number 1 will be Derek Garrison and Jordan Berry. Row number 2 will be Jason Miz, joined by Justin Day. Then row number 3 will be Reese Schaefer and Reese Hamilton. Both those Reeses there, side by side with each other. Then we go on to the 4th row, which will have the Shoemakers. Keith and Bryce will make up row number 4. Row number 5 will be Colby Jackson and Joseph Causey. Row number 6 will be Aaron Kay and Landon Matherson. Row number 7 will be Jim Foskett and Ron Hollifield. And then row number 8 will be Justin Levine, who will round out the field.
Justin Levine starting out back again, looking to make another run at the hard charger, as he always does and tends to do in this league.
And that does not surprise, I think, any of us at all. And I don't think it'll take much time for him to get up through this field, and it'll probably just be a matter of time. Let's go ahead over. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, he's going to make it up through this field one way or another.
That he will do, and you know, I'm going to take a bet that it's going to be before probably lap 20. That'll be my guess.
That sounds about right.
Let's go ahead and take a look at our analysis quick. 134 laps, 202 miles. Stage 1 will be 65 laps. The final stage will be 69 laps. Pit road speed 50 miles an hour. Then we have 4 sets of tires behind the wall that these drivers will be able to change, as well as 1 fast repair. Our estimated field window is about 43 to 45 laps, give or take. So we will definitely need to pit in this first stage if it does go green.
Yeah, you might see these guys make an early pit stop here, especially with the way the tires will wear at this track. It's going to wear a lot different from any other track tonight, especially with that concrete surface at this old Atlanta Speedway. So we'll see if these guys make an early pit stop before their pit window.
And strategy will be key in tonight's race. Who's going to be able to play their strategy and their cards right? Derek Garrison leading them into the restart zone. We're racing here from Atlanta Motor Speedway.
We're already almost 4 wide, right? 3 wide between Keith Shoemaker, Colby Jackson, and Landon Matherson. They were able to gather it up real quickly. Saw Jason Miz almost have some trouble on the start, as well as Bryce Shoemaker down the back straightaway gets loose. Side-by-side action going on here. Bryce Shoemaker and Justin Levine. You saw Bryce get loose out of turn 2 down the back straightaway.
And Levine making quick work here. Already up to that 9th position. Not surprised by that, but also making quick work getting up through the field here.
Not doing too shabby. You see Landon Matherson on the outside now. He wants to try that outside. It'll definitely work. But do you really want to go to that outside this early into the race and risk using up all your tire here, especially on lap 3?
And that's the thing, you know, you don't want to wear out your tires so early into the run that you don't have anything left in about 10 to 15 laps, because this track absolutely eats your tires up like no one else, or at least no other place could do. And you see Levine and Matherson leaning on each other right here, and you'll see some guys try and run that bottom to maybe conserve a bit of tire. Other guys might choose to run a little bit more aggressive and pay a little bit more struggle in the long run, as these 2 guys are still beating and banging, and Bryce Shoemaker's going to look to make it 3 wide off of 4, and more beating and banging down the front straightaway.
Yeah, poor Landon Matherson, he's just getting used there between these 2 trucks of Justin Levine and Bryce Shoemaker. He got endured on the inside from Justin Levine, got Dort on the outside from Bryce Shoemaker, and now they're 3 wide, Schaefer, Shoemaker, and Matherson here.
3 wide for the time being. Looks like they got it sorted out though before they went into 3 and 4. And just as I say that now, maybe possibly 3 wide again for a second, but these guys back here are hungry for these positions and trying to figure it out as quick as they can, as Levine is coming up into the picture for a top 5 position fairly quickly.
Yeah, Levine is making a big charge to the front. He's going to go on the bottom side of Bryce Shoemaker now. It's going to be a lot harder to make these passes go on the bottom side, make them work. You're just going to have to slide up and hope that you're clear later on in the run, especially when the tire wear falls off.
And Matherson got a bit of the wall off before there, had a little bit of slip up in a moment, able to hang on to it though, just lost a little bit of track position. Now he's under fire from Jason Miz and Jim Foskett there behind him as well. So Matherson trying to regain some ground from a lap ago, using that high side best he can, as he's going to try and go to work around Jordan Berry on that inside lane.
Yeah, and Matherson earlier on was getting used like a pick, so we'll see if maybe he can try and gain some of those positions back that he lost here on the outside lane.
And one other thing that you'll look at here on the ticker on the left-hand side of the screen, you see some drivers have a little bit of a color next to their number, a little colored line. That's for the what am I trying to say? The in-season challenge. So the colors will coordinate with who they're going against. Derek Garrison, Justin Levine going against each other. You can see with those red colors next to their names. Then you have to go a little bit further back to see some other drivers with that. Drivers in white are not a part of it anymore, but any driver who has a little colored line is going against somebody to race for, so that's also something that these drivers are going to be battling out throughout this race, and not just the championship playoff format.
Yeah, not a lot of drivers left in this in-season challenge. So we'll see if these guys can get to the next round, and it'll be a great watch here. Side by side, Justin Levine and Derek Garrison, the 2 guys we were talking about for the in-season challenge, are right next to each other here. Levine battling for the lead. Hey, you said lap 20? It only took him 10. He took your prediction and threw that thing out the window.
That it was. Yeah, I guess I have to split that. You know, I originally was thinking I was going to say lap 10, but I said, nah, that's too early on. And Levine proving me wrong here, as just now getting the lead away from Derek Garrison fully. So Levine shoots to the lead. He's now going to put a little bit of a distance between him and Garrison through 3 and 4, and we'll see how well Levine can hang on through this green flag run, as Justin Day in 3rd, Shoemaker in 4th, and then the rest of the field a little bit further back, just kind of taking their time, clicking down these laps. Again, we still have a long ways to go in this race, so you don't want to go too aggressively here early on and not have a chance to go at the stage when once we get those laps winded down.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder how much tire Justin was using to get around these guys, because he had to have been using a certain amount of tire. We got a lot of laps to go to this stage, and we'll see if he made the right call by pushing early and now trying to... It doesn't even seem like he's trying to save tire here. He's just running the top side.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. I mean, it seems like he's definitely not in a big saving factor. We saw from that angle in 1 and 2 that he had a little bit of a slide, which will definitely hurt his tires a bit, but you would just wonder if maybe he's thinking about doing a split between this first stage as a little strategy offset. I know that is a possibility, and it probably would, from inside the car, feel better not having to run so many laps on the set of tires where you would run a full tank of fuel out, but it'll be interesting to see how Levine shares and fares out to be here.
Yeah, and one driver I'd like to shout out is Justin Day in 3rd place, and this could go very bad for me here. Could jinx him here, but so far running 3rd place for Justin Day. Truck is looking good. Truck is feeling good for him. We'll see if he can continue this great run. You know, unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it into the next round with his woes at New Atlanta, but Old Atlanta, he's doing pretty well so far.
Definitely doing a lot better than he had than he started off with last week, he didn't make it through that first lap, and right now, I mean, he got the pole last week. Another great start here this week, and like you said, running now, doing really good, and unfortunately not advancing through the playoffs, but still, if you're a driver like Justin Day, that doesn't mean that you don't have something to prove. You're going to try and go out there and get your first win on this season. And right now he's in prime position to do just that, as Derek Garrison now is going to retake the lead as Levine goes for the crossover down the front straightaway.
Yeah, Levine trying to go get that lead back from Derek Garrison side by side into turn 1. And I think it's just going to be very hard for Levine to make a pass on the bottom side. Yeah, Derek Garrison's going to get that momentum right back down the back straightaway. Still side by side. I think Derek Garrison's going to have it into turn 3. And I think he'll have it out of turn 4 and down the front straightaway here.
And one interesting thing here is that Derek Garrison has been absolutely unstoppable at this track in this series. I'm not quite sure if he's lost a race here in this series at this version of Atlanta, so he does really good here no matter what the car or truck, I should say, truck, whatever we run here, he does extremely well, and right now it's showing just how good he is as he's out front at lap 18.
Yeah, doing a tremendous job keeping that 23 truck out front, and hey, that thing's got turn sector media on the hood, so we get some love as well, getting to show that Derek Garrison's out front. So if I'm Derek, I would want to keep this thing out front for the entire race.
I would think he plans on probably doing so, as Derek Garrison, I think, is probably fairly hungry to try and come out of here with the win and continue his win streak here track, but I have to fan it off a charging Justin, who is also hungrier in second position. Losing ground speed in with that 23 machine, and now Bryce Shoemaker moves into 3rd place behind them. So Shoemaker here, a good start, even though he got into that wall a little early on. He's been able to rebound and make up some lost time and some positions on track. So shout out to Shoemaker for this amazing start as well.
Yeah, very impressive drive by Bryce Shoemaker there, and it's been more impressive to see him run up front this at the start of this race, because he's usually not up front early on in these races. So it's great to see as we now look at Landon Matherson and Jordan Berry side by side. Matherson trying to take the spot away from Berry, and he does. So Landon Matherson goes up to 5th. For the moment, Jordan Berry, with maybe a little crossover move here, is going to try and take the spot away from Landon Matherson, and he's going to easily.
A drive on the outside by Jordan Berry is going to allow him to hang on to 5th position for now, but he's got some drivers behind him who are trying to make their way forward, one of those being Jason Miz. And then a little bit further back you have Joseph Causey, who kind of been quiet all night as well. Reese Schaefer and Reese Hamilton right there in the mix behind them as well. So some hungry drivers behind Jordan Berry that he'll need to hold off here in these next couple of laps, but he's got a bit of a gap, him and the drivers behind him for the time being.
Causey got really close to Reese Schaefer down down that front straightaway. It almost looked like we were about to have a caution, but good job on Causey for realizing how close he was to Reese Schaefer and not making a move that he shouldn't have, as now Reese Schaefer will get right behind Joseph Causey, and I think he's worried about saving tire, that 17 machine.
And that's something that Schaefer does so good, is being able to save tire and still be able to make that time up on these long runs. You see Causey having a few moments here and there. Looks like that truck is a little bit looser than he kind of would want to right now, as they're 3 wide for the moment off of turn 2 contact.
Oh, Madison's the wall!
And Miz in the wall.
There was just no room for either of those drivers, and that's kind of what happens when you have no room. Exiting turn 2, you get down the back straightaway, and one guy hits the wall, and all of a sudden you're getting spun around. So
caution here at lap 25, and nothing really any of those drivers could do. It's just such a difficult place to be 3 wide, especially when coming off of turn number 2. And thankfully all these drivers look like they came out with minimal damage. Just looks like the 9 is gonna lose a lot of positions and maybe a set of tires here, as those tires are probably shot, but all those drivers did a great job at avoiding that number 9, who ended up going for a little bit of a spin there.
yeah, those tires are going to be a little worn. We'll see if any of these leaders decide to pit. I'm assuming if they do pit, it'll only be for fuel here. I don't think anyone would take tires unless you're one of the guys that was in that incident. Because yeah, we see all the front guys come down, so they'll probably get fuel only and save their tires for the stage.
We'll see what these drivers decide to do here, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at the replay in just a moment. Looks like some of these drivers are electing to take some tires, so I'm not too surprised here by that. I mean, we do have a stage at lap 69, which is quite a ways away, but you see a little bit of a different strategy here from some of these guys up front as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this incident. So obviously coming off of 2, they were 3 wide. Miz and Matherson making a little bit of contact there.
Yeah, like we were talking about earlier, that's just a tough spot to be 3 wide. Matherson got into the wall, Miz was right there on him, and you know, Matherson gets down into the Miz, gets into the wall, and Miz goes around, and yeah, it's just a tough place to be 3 wide, especially coming out of the corner.
Yeah, nothing really any of those drivers did wrong. It's just such, you know, like you said, such a tough place to just try and make it work. And like I said again, a great job by the rest of the field to avoid that and not make it any bigger than it already was, and not getting any other trucks involved there. So shout out to the field for being able to avoid that and not pile up any more trucks this early on.
Yeah, it was a great job by them. And those guys will get back going here shortly, and we'll see another run at it. I think we were doing pretty good there early on for that first run, so let's see if we can have another good run to the stage. Maybe get a little bit more strategy. I don't know if these guys have to pit again for fuel before the stage, so we shall see.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Let's see, quick math would say we definitely would be close on it. I'm not quite sure if they'd be able to make it though, so we'll see what these drivers can come up with for strategy. As field in the hands of Bryce Shoemaker, green flag back in the air. A little bit of tire spin there from Reese Hamilton, and A great restart by Shoemaker up at the front.
Bryce Shoemaker side by side with Reese Schaefer. The 17 truck hasn't really been out front at all this race, and this will be the first time he's out front. So we'll see if he keeps it there or elects to do his saving tire method. As we are 3 wide, Justin Day and Joseph Causey had a little moment there, able to get right back. Keep bucking as Justin looking to try and lead.
Great job, guys. That was a small. And they come out with the race lead over Jordan Berry, Reese Schaefer, and Colby Jackson for the time being. And unfortunately, Joseph Causey was probably the biggest loser in that. He's back to 9th position and potentially under fire for that from Jason Miz. We'll have to see how it sorts itself out back there as they are 3 wide further back.
They are able to figure it all out. It looks like it was Derek Garrison and Landon Matherson. Now we see again the 9 truck of Jason Miz and Landon Matherson maybe giving themselves a little bit more room, being a little bit more cautious, especially after what just happened with the first caution. So you'll see those 2 guys being together, and Reese Schaefer has fallen off quickly. So that makes me think that he went right back to his saving tire strategy as soon as those guys all started to get to him. It seems like he just let them all by and is now going to try and save tire here.
And that's a veteran move right there. Remember, he's gotten all these championships by being smart and, you know, doing what he needs to do out on track, and just goes to show that Reese Schaefer is a proven and worthy champion for sure. And as he continues to try and defend this series title, we'll see what he can do with it tonight, as he's a little bit further back, but, you know, like you said, probably playing it a bit smarter and not trying to overuse his tires and not collect any incidents from anybody else.
Yeah, I agree. Jason Miz now looking to pursue Colby Jackson, putting the pressure on him side by side into turns 3 and 4. And he'll be able to get it here. That was an impressive move. I didn't quite think that he would, but he must have fresher tires, because I think that's the only way you're going to be able to pass on the bottom side is fresher tires.
Yeah, he made that look easy for sure, and definitely carrying a little bit more speed in that 9 truck. And shout out to Miz for running the Ram truck. He's one of the few drivers in this field that actually is running the Ram truck tonight, and just recently added to iRacing. Always like to see a different variety of cars in the fields, and even though he's one of the few, he's representing strong here as he's currently running in the 4th position.
Always nice to see the Ram truck out there, especially with it being a new truck in the service. Good to see as Justin Day continues to lead here on lap 34. Just kind of cruising out at the moment, putting that thing out in cruise controls, trying to save tire and maintain that gap to Derek Garrison. This is about a 0.6 of a second gap to Garrison. So he's just trying to maintain that and stay out front.
That he is doing just fine right now, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a little quick side-by-side commercial break. You guys won't miss a thing, though. You'll see it all here on Side-by-Side, as this is a Showdown Truck Series live from Atlanta Motor Speedway. We will be right back.
due. Face fight between the walls.
Time to turn the intensity up.
Fight to the end, no matter what happens. Good day to be in victory lane.
Green flag is in the air.
Driving with conviction.
Side by side, hammer down. The after-checks are lit. Count out anybody who wants it the most.
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out.
Wheel to wheels, they come to the
What
line.
a victory this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
Next flag is going to end it. Does he have enough? A dominant performance.
Say no, baby. Let's go.
Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody pushing as hard as they can in one final shot.
Gotta earn this thing. Run here to the end.
It is all on the table.
A total 500.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sunday Night Showdown Truck Series live from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Just kind of clicking down these laps, you kind of saw there side by side that Justin Day has lost the lead. He's back to third, and Garrison and Levine were able to go on by. Levine now taking the point away as Derek Garrison's going to be right there in second place behind them. And you know, these guys are just kind of vibing for the time being. I'll use it as that. Really not any aggressive racing. You see Miz taking a look to the inside of Justin Day, but not really, nobody's really forcing anything right now. That could just be part of just trying to make it through this green flag run before and if they do need a pit again. A lot of different lanes, though, being used for the time being.
Yeah, some guys using the top side, some guys using the middle, and some guys using the bottom. I mean, I feel like the bottom is going to be easier to save tire, but to be fast, you might want to run the top side, as Justin Levine is running the top side eloquently here and doing a very great job of that. Justin Day now under pressure from Jason Miz. Jason Miz looking to make another pass for the third spot. On the bottom side, can he do it? They're going to be side by side out of turn 4. Not going to have enough yet as that outside carries some momentum. He's going to continue to fight with Justin Day here into turns 1 and 2.
Day on the high side, Miz on the bottom side. Looks like Miz is going to have enough momentum to clear up in front of Justin Day. Now Justin Day going to fall back to 4th as Miz continuing to march forward. And right now, I mean, he's been a little bit quicker than these guys in front of him, if not been matching these lap times. So Miz really coming to life these past couple of laps as Justin Day trying to hang tight with him, but just not able to get that truck rotated as good as Miz is right now.
Yeah, Miz might have had taken fresher tires after that caution with Landon Matherson. So I'm assuming that he is on the freshest tires for the moment and doing a very good job at keeping those tires maintained and still gaining positions as he's now looking to try and put the pressure on the 23 truck of Derek Garrison and make a run for that second place spot.
And we'll take a minute here. And Zala, you mentioned it to me on the break. Unfortunately, Matheson is being scored as Edstrom under the live timing here. So a little bit of a mistake there on my part. But just know Edstrom, Matheson, a little bit of a mix-up there. So, apologies to Matheson there. Not going to get to see his name displayed tonight on the ticker. But Matheson, you're still running good, buddy. We can at least see that you are in the correct number. So keep doing your thing, and we'll get it fixed there for next week. Through the field, though, I'm a little bit surprised as to how far back Schaefer and Kazi have gotten, and I know they're probably saving fuel and some tire wear, but not like anywhere even close to within being in striking distance of really anybody around them.
Yeah, I think Reece Schaefer is doing a save tire thing here, and he's doing some kind of wacky strategy. That's just the Reece Schaefer way. He's gonna find a way to do some wacky strategy and find a way to make it work. And here he is. He's about 15 seconds behind the leader, and he's just trying to maintain those tires and continue this wacky strategy, I'd call it. That's all I can think of. It's just all he does is he thinks of wacky strategies and how he can find a way to get an advantage of his competitors, and he does a great job.
And that's something that you're able to do when you're Reece Kazi or even Justin Levine if you wanted to. You've built up such a large amount of points over the rest of the competition that one race, if it doesn't go your way, it doesn't necessarily hurt you too much. Now, you wouldn't want to do it every week, but once in a while, just trying to figure something different out never hurts. And I always like seeing what Schaefer and Kazi can come up with. Obviously, Levine out front right now, just kind of setting the pace, but we'll see how that strategy for those two drivers back there works out through the rest of this race. And you never know, we could get some cautions that play or either into their favor or not into their favor and could mix this whole thing up. So long ways to go in this race. Justin Levine looking strong out front, Garrison hanging tight with him, and Miz has closed right up on those two in front of them as well.
Yeah, I did notice that Justin Levine had a little wiggle down the back straightaway last time by. So truck may be a little loose for him here as Derek Garrison has brought himself back into the mix, only about 0.2 of a second behind Justin Levine. Trying to apply that pressure to the 19 truck, maybe make a mistake, as now he's gonna have pressure from the 9 truck of Jason Miz looking to take second away from him. So instead of worrying about Justin Levine, he's now going to have to worry about that 9 truck of Jason Miz right out back.
Jason Miz continuing to look strong here early on and running that lower line, just trying to get around Derek Garrison, not able to stay even with him, but he's going to try and continue to go back to work now. Garrison trying to take that air away from that 9 truck as he goes to the bottom side, and that's a 54 Bryce Shoemaker that's going to go lap down here at the top of the track. Going to stay plenty of ways out the way, but not the night that he wants, as we saw him before that caution. He was up there in the mix, and his strategy not going to play this far, or so far in this race.
Yeah, that's what happens sometimes with strategy. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. As now Colby Jackson is going to go around Bryce Shoemaker here and take the 4th spot away. As Bryce Shoemaker is going to lose a couple spots here. He went from 4th all the way down to I believe that is 8th.
He would have been 8th. He is a lap down.
Yeah. Oh, he's a lap down.
Yeah, he is a lap down.
So he's a lap down. So never mind on that. I thought he was on the lead lap. He is not, so that did not matter. But Colby Jackson getting going strong here,
Well,
trying to catch these guys in front of him.
you know, you say that he was just up there a handful of laps ago on that restart, and I'm not quite sure if he took 2 or if he just took no tires there, but either way, going down a lap this quickly after the restart is very surprising, and not the end of the world yet, but definitely not in a good situation. He will get a caution here in a handful of laps. That's lap 65 at the stage break, but not ideal to go a lap down here in this first stage.
No, definitely not what you want to see, but again, that caution will come out lap 65, and as long as he is the first one a lap down, he'll get the lucky dog and be able to get back up into the field and start racing with these guys again, as Jason Miz has finally got around the 23 truck of Derek Garrison, and Garrison now going to try and find anything he can, but it looks like his truck is getting tight on the exit of turn 2, and Colby Jackson now putting the pressure on side by side into turn 3, 73%.
That Colby Jackson was able to take advantage of Garrison getting tight. Oh, Miz in the wall. Oh, able to hang on to it, but that was a scary moment right there off the 4 down the front straightaway for that 9 truck of Jason Miz, and he lost a whole lot of time and position.
Yeah, you have to wonder if that was a little bit of that arrow in the trucks, new arrow in the trucks. Colby Jackson getting right on the, really close to Jason Miz, got him pretty loose, and he was luckily able to gather it back up before anything bad happened down the front straightaway. So good job to him for being able to gather it up.
Yeah, great job to be able to hang on to it. Unfortunately for him, though, he lost all that time that he made up, and now Colby Jackson taking over that second spot. We'll see what he can do as he's in the wall just a little bit there off of 2. We'll see what he can do in these next couple of laps before we get the end of the stage, see if he can maybe chase down Justin Levine, or maybe Colby Jackson using up a little bit too much there, and see if maybe he's not able to close up. We'll see how it plays out, but Colby Jackson looking good right now in second position.
Yeah, there's about 6 laps to go in the stage, as Colby Jackson is going to try and make a run, and you saw get into the wall there last time down the back straightaway. It makes you wonder if maybe he finds a way to get to the wall again, especially with how that truck seemed to be handling there down that back straightaway.
And that's part of just what we talked about, was handling becoming a big issue in these long runs. And even if Miz got some aero assistance or just lost it on his own, either way, I mean, that truck is definitely going to handle a bit different now that he's got that slide on those tires, and doesn't really seem to be hurting him too much as he's going to try and look to the inside of Derek Garrison. But you know, I'm sure some of these drivers are probably just wanting to see this stage caution come out and then take a new set of tires and not have to worry about doing any more laps on what they have right now.
Yeah, you have to wonder if these tires are starting to wear out for these guys. They ran a lot of laps on these things. They're going to have to hang on for about 3 more laps as the stage caution comes out at lap 65. So we'll see if these guys continue to keep their tires under them here and hopefully not have a big spin before the stage caution.
Oh, and riding on board there with Jordan Berry, and he just barely got into that outside wall a bit. Had to lift, lost a little bit of momentum, but still hanging there with the 9 and the 23 truck. Working a little bit lower of the line is Jordan Berry compared to those 2 in front of him. We'll see if he can maybe gain some extra positions here. He is in the playoffs, so would probably help him out just a little bit. But he doesn't have a whole lot of time to go before we see that stage at 65.
Stage is coming to a close here very, very quickly. Justin Levine is your leader. Colby Jackson in second. Derek Garrison third. Jason Miz in fourth. And Jordan Berry in fifth. That's your top 5 for the stage. Obviously all top 10 drivers getting stage points. But Justin Levine making quick work of the field, getting up to the front by lap 10. Now continuing to lead on lap 64, and as he crosses the line, lap 65.
He's looking to put the 26 truck of Ron Hollifield one lap down. He's using that outside lane, able to get around the 26. Now the 26 will be the first truck 1 lap down. Next truck that's in position to go a lap down will be Reese Hamilton. Don't think he'll catch Reese Hamilton, but Levine should be able to just kind of coast it around here, as it looks like he's actually going to let the 26 go on by. So nice little gesture there from Levine to let the 26 go and get his lap back before we see the caution here.
Yeah, that was a great gesture by Justin Levine. Something that I'm used to seeing Justin Levine do, give a guy a break, and well, that was awesome. A nice gesture, and Ron Holofield will get back on the lead lap, so that should mean the 8 truck of Landon Matherson will get the lucky dog here, as he was now the first one a lap down.
So some much needed points here for some of these drivers. Other drivers like Reese Hamilton missing out on some points. Joseph Kazi going to be the last driver to get a point there. And, you know, it's going to be kind of interesting to see here with some of these guys who did go a lap down. Brecker obviously not in position to get a lap back unless he stays out. I don't think he'll do that, but majority of this field being on the lead lap will obviously come down pit road, and I would not be surprised if everybody decides to take at least 1 set of tires here and then fill them up with fuel. Other guys who I'm still a little bit surprised to see further back is Schaefer and Kazi, but as we start this second half of the race, we'll see what their mindset is and what they decide to do.
Yeah, there should be a longer run to the finish, so strategy may come into a factor unless we see another yellow flag, which I know all these drivers do not want to see, as they are all going to hit pit road and get their tires and their 4 fresh Goodyears and their Sunoco race fuel.
So Levine, Jackson, and Garrison, the top 3 trucks. Levine's going to work his way into that pit box. Looks like a nice entry from him. Jackson as well. Garrison, Miz. Garrison a little bit of a locked up, but I don't think that'll affect anything too much. And I'm sure a lot of these drivers are going to be happy to be able to take these fresh tires here at this point in time. And, you know, it's always interesting to see these cautions come out when the racing is just getting good, because it just kind of builds the hype up for the second part of the race. And I think we're in for a great finish, and you see a lot of trucks in the top 5 who have kind of been there all night. And I think now that they've kind of figured out who has what and what they need to do, I think these guys are going to be able to hang with each other for this last portion of the race.
Yeah, and I want to see what Reese Schaefer and Joseph Kazi do here on this run. If these guys are now going to start pushing the limit instead of doing a tire save strategy, I assume that's what they're going to do here on this run. Those guys you might see get up to the front here shortly, but we'll have to wait and see for that. Justin Levine looking to hang on to the lead for our choose cone, and I believe he's going to take the outside.
That's one of the unique things about this league, is you're able to choose your position here on these restarts, choose which lane you want to be in. So you can either gain a few spots, you could lose a few spots. It's all really driver dependent on that call. And you know, some places it helps, other places it might hurt. I know at a track like this, it will definitely come into play. Super speedways, kind of depending on how you look at it. But We've seen it on time and time again with some of these restarts. Picking your lane can put you in a really good spot or a bad spot, and I like Levine taking the outside. Gives you a lot of control there, and that's usually what we see at old Atlanta is that outside truck, or at least that leader chooses the outside. So we'll see what Levine can do here and see how aggressive Colby Jackson can be, because we've known him to be super aggressive on these restarts.
Yes, he will be aggressive at that, and it'll be a great watch as the pace car rolls off.
Pace truck down pit road, field back into the restart zone. We're racing once again here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Levine with a great start. Jackson and Garrison side by side for second.
Jordan Berry was side by side with Justin Day for just a second there. Looking to get a spot. It looks like he's going to go back to the bottom and maybe try and get around Justin Day. Or he's also just trying to save tire, which is probably the case here. As, like I said, we might see Reese Schaefer make a run at it and Joseph Causey make a run at it here. Here comes that 17 truck. He's looking to make a run to the front here on lap 71 of 134 as they are side by side, 2 rows deep.
Miz, the first one all the way up there in that high side. He's got Garrison and Justin Day. Day now with a little bit of a bobble there off 4. He's going to lose a spot to Schaefer, who now is going to face Jordan Berry. And we've got a whole mix-up here as they're 3 wide for the race lead for a moment.
Yeah, there was a big gaggle of trucks there, 3 wide for a second. They were able to keep it calm as Colby Jackson's now going to run that very, very top side, so close to the wall. Right there was Colby Jackson in that 73 truck as Jason Miz is on the bottom side of Justin Levine trying to take the lead away.
Oh, a little bit of squeeze there entering turn 1 and 2. Miz to Jackson, able to keep it going though. And now Miz looking to the inside for the race lead. He's got the momentum. Will he be able to make it stick? Not so much, but he's going to remain to the inside of Levine through 3 and 4. And they're going to be having a dead even drag race off for turn 4. Slides up into the wall.
Yeah, he slid up. Oh, he's going to come back down, but luckily there are no trucks there to hit. Almost got the 23 of Derek Garrison right there. Great job by those drivers to have the awareness for Jason Miz. That could have ended up badly.
What a close call there from Miz. Nice job again by the field to avoid making it any bigger than what it already was, and they're going to be able to all live another day. Jason Miz, though, losing a lot of positions there. He's now falling back to 6th position, and now looking to the inside of Levine for the race lead. He's going to carry the momentum. Not sure if he's going to slide up. Yes, he will. So Reese Schaefer now to the race lead after what we thought was an odd start. But don't count out Justin Levine. They're going to be leaning on each other through 3 and 4.
Yeah, they're racing tight side by side into turns 3 and 4. Justin Levine all the way up to Schaefer's door as we hit the front straightaway. He's not going to let him get that lead that easy. He said, Reese, you've been sitting in the back all day. You ain't going to get the lead that easy. I'm going to race you hard for it. And Levine is showing that as they are still side by side down the back straightaway.
They're remaining even, and now Schaefer looks like he's going to have the advantage for the time being, as Levine's going to slide back behind him, and now Levine's going to have to try and figure out something to get to the inside of Schaefer, but Schaefer looking strong up at the front for the time being, and, well, it may have taken a little bit longer than we thought, but Schaefer now up at the front as Colby Jackson back to 3rd, Garrison to 4th, and then you have Miz, who has gained another spot on the field, back into that 5th position. We'll see what he can do now that he's kind of regathered that truck back up.
Yeah, and if you were a long-time watcher of Sunday Night Showdown series, you would have known that Reese Schaefer was doing some type of odd strategy. We talked about it early, but he was going to make a run to the front sooner rather than later, and here it is on lap 78, the 17 Got Milk truck of Reese Schaefer in the lead.
Now Jason Miz trying to put some pressure on Derek Garrison. Not able to make it sick in the 54. Bryce Shoemaker 1 lap down, but he's out here just trying to gain some experience and also race these guys. I mean, no wrongdoing with that. You just got to be a little bit more mindful as to when you're racing them, but you know, I'm not against it. You just got to be careful. And right now, Shoemaker running that high side, just trying to figure out something in case he is able to get that lap back. And I think if he is able to get that lap back, he'll definitely be a top 5 contender. It's just if he gets that lap back. And now Levine to the outside trying to make it work, but Schaefer with that bottom side, he's going to be able to slide up down the back straightaway and be able to hang on to that race lead.
Yeah, Reese Schaefer using all the lanes here, just trying to keep Justin Levine behind him side by side. And in turns 3 and 4, Levine on the bottom, Schaefer on the top. Can Levine get it done? It's going to be a drag race to the Schleifer and now get out front on that top side.
Schaefer to hold strong here up at the front. Levine taking a look behind to the outside. Again, using that high side, kind of what he's been doing all night. We'll see if he can make it work. But Schaefer continuing to look strong, and now Justin Day trying to go around Jason Miz there on that bottom side. Not sure if he's maybe found something back there as well.
Yeah, and Reese Schaefer doing a great job, and Justin Day here on side by side with Jordan Berry there for a second. We'll see if maybe Berry can get that spot, as Berry's going to use the outside, and he's going to be able to get that spot pretty quickly and easily there. And great job by Jordan Berry making that outside work, as now he's going to go to the bottom and try and get another spot, and they're going to be 3 wide. They were 3 wide for a second with Bryce Shoemaker, but now still side by side.
And Kazi right in the mix there as well. He's up to 7th position, looking strong, taking a look to the inside of Jason Miz, and Jason Miz now trying to hold off a fast Joseph Kazi and then Justin Day as well. So Miz is trying to hang on to this position for the time being, trying to use that high side, but Kazi going to be able to slide up in front of that 9 truck off of 2, and now Kazi looking to make a late charge here in this race as well.
Yeah, and these guys, Joseph Kazi and Reese Schaefer, were using a different strategy than these other guys, and here it shows. Joseph Kazi looking to battle with Bryce Shoemaker here. Shoemaker a lap down, so Shoemaker might not make it easy for him, but I assume that Shoemaker is going to be low here, maybe not, as they're side by side down the back straightaway.
And a battle for second place is heating up. Garrison took a late dive to the inside of Schaefer, and now he's going to look to the inside of Levine through turns 3 and 4. Levine, Garrison side by side, but Levine has help from Schaefer down this front straightaway. Now, what will Schaefer do here? Now that he's clear of Garrison, he's going to slide up and continue to work that high side, and don't count out Colby Jackson, who is right behind them as well.
Yeah, and Derek Garrison, the lone wolf on the bottom. These 3 guys up top. Kobe Jackson going to the bottom very, very quickly to try and now make a pass on Reese Schaefer. He's gonna
Dicey.
slide right up. Oh, almost into the wall
go.
there.
Aggressive, and he's going to block it as well. Aggressive moves from Colby Jackson, but it looks like it's going to work out for him. So even though it may be aggressive, he's now in second position. And now Schaefer going to try and go back to the inside, and Jackson might have gotten a bit tight there and had to let off the throttle, and now he's going to give back that second position to Reese Schaefer.
Yeah, so all that work for Colby Jackson did not work, as they are now 3 wide. Jordan Berry, Derek Garrison, and Colby Jackson 3 wide down the front straightaway.
Jackson and with the advantage there. Garrison now under pressure from Barry. And wow, things are heating up here at lap 88.
And things are dicey quick, as guess who has got himself into the mix. Dun-dun. It's almost like playing the Jaws theme. The 3 truck of Joseph Causey has entered the mix as he is side by side with the 23 truck of Derek Garrison.
Derek Garrison trying to hold off the 3 truck of Joseph Causey, but Joseph Causey just carrying so much momentum right now. And as I say that now, Garrison able to clear, and he's going to take a look to the inside of Colby Jackson for 3rd position. And wow, this racing is picked up as they are side by side for the race lead, and these top 7 drivers are all under a blanket just trying to prove to one another who the top dog is. And this has been some outstanding racing these past couple of laps, and I don't know if I can pick a favorite right now. I mean, it looked like for a moment it was going to be Justin Levine and Reese Schaefer. Then Garrison came into the mix, and now Causey and Colby Jackson there as well. So I really don't know which direction this race is going, but they are giving us a heck of a show. And moment right there for Garrison. A little bit of a slide off of 4 as he might have gotten a little help from Causey, but they're going to continue to go straight towards 1 and 2 just fine, and fanning out all over the racetrack behind Levine.
I told these drivers at the beginning, before this race even started, to give us a show, Oscar, and that is what they are providing here tonight. They are giving us a great show, and it has been amazing to watch as we are only on lap 91 of 134. There's still a pit stop that has to go underway at some point, and these guys are just racing hard, and it is amazing to watch.
Well, let's see who is able to get the advantage when these pit stops happen, and the green flag pit stops are going to be something to watch out for, because you really never know how that's going to affect things. You see speeding penalties happen all the time, and one driver who has had some miscues on pit road has been Causey, and I think now we're in the playoffs, this deep into the playoffs, you don't want to make mistakes. Could still be a possibility, but if you're going to go for the win here tonight, you need to be able to execute best you can on and off the pit road, and that's usually where some drivers struggle over other drivers. So depending on how these green flag pit stops play out, it could shake up things once again up at the front.
Yeah, and I was just looking down the back straightaway the last time. I saw Jordan Berry and Colby Jackson racing each other. They were both getting reefs as Jordan Berry is going to send it on the inside. He's going to try and make a pass on Colby Jackson, but that top side is just too strong as Berry gets a little loose there.
And while these guys are just giving it their all, and Barry doing an excellent job being able to hang on to that 6th position. And a lot of these drivers are actually having some pretty decent runs so far tonight. Obviously Causey, now going for the race lead, is looking to have an even better night once again, and Levine, Causey side by side for the moment. Those two drivers have had an absolutely outstanding season, and it's been hard to pick out which one of those drivers has had the better one, because they've just really gone back and forth. Reese Schaefer right there as well has carried some momentum in these past few weeks. Derek Garrison kind of right there in the mix as well. A little bit more quiet than those other three drivers, but he's been right there in the mix as well. And one other thing you should note is the top 6 are all playoff drivers. So when these playoff drivers need to show up, they are definitely showing up.
Yeah, these playoff drivers make it a show, especially when they know that this is the first race of the next round and they need points. These guys are going to show up to play, and they are making a great race for us to watch and for the fans to watch even. This has been fantastic racing, and hopefully they keep it up as Causey trying to get to the inside of Justin Levine to make the pass to the inside, just not going to have enough, and he's going to stick right behind Levine. But I don't think he's going to stick behind Levine for too long here. Yep, sure enough, he's going to try and go back to the bottom side into turn 3 and 4.
Side by side down the front straightaway, and Colby Jackson now making his way onto the pit road. So he's going to be the first taker at lap 98, as they are continuing to remain side by side for the race lead. And now Levine just barely able to nudge out in front of Causey.
Yeah, and we'll see if any of these other trucks decide that they want to pit now that Colby Jackson has pitted, or if they're going to stay out. I imagine you'll see them stay out a little bit longer here, as yep, nobody else goes in. And we're going to continue to watch these guys battle it out, as Justin Levine going to get a push from the 23 of Derek Garrison, door banging a little bit, him and Causey.
They gave each other a little bit of a shot, and now they're going to be 3 wide off for turn 2, now back to 2 wide. Schaefer able to take advantage of that little incident between Levine and Causey, but then Causey able to just send it into 3 and 4 and put a little bit of a distance between him and Schaefer. So Causey did a heck of a job there from being able to get away from the rest of the field, but these guys going to close up behind him fairly quickly, and I would not be surprised if Schaefer is able to get to the back bumper. If not, maybe even take a look to the inside for the race lead here in about a lap or a lap and a half.
Yeah, and Reese Schaefer, he's going to actually, instead of going to the bottom, he's going to use that middle lane. So I wonder if Causey maybe saving tire or trying to save his stuff, using the bottom side, maybe block some air from Reese Schaefer, as now Reese Schaefer's going to go to the bottom into turn 1 and 2 and try and take the lead away.
They're going to remain side by side, and Schaefer with the momentum off the exit. Will he be able to slide up? Yes, he will. So now Schaefer taking the race lead away from Causey and Levine, and we'll see what Causey can do now that he is in second place. And it seems like it's just been a heck of a night for that second place driver. Whenever they get in position, it seems like they're just able to find something and take that lead away. And now Levine looking to the inside of Joseph Causey, able to take that second position away for the time being, but really hard to pick and choose who the fan favorite is out here tonight, as these trucks all seem to remain pretty much even.
I feel like I have to put on my inner Dale Jr. here, because these guys are just throwing slide jobs left and right, and it is impressive that these slide jobs are being thrown so eloquently that these guys are not hitting each other when throwing those slide jobs, as we see Colby Jackson, who had just pitted, now go around these guys and get his lap back. So theoretically, Jackson will be the leader once the rest of these guys make it down pit road, but that has yet to be seen from any of the rest of these drivers.
And I'm a little bit surprised to see that we have not had really any other takers so far. I mean, Colby Jackson definitely did come down a little bit earlier than I would have expected, but to not see any of these other drivers come down pit road in this top, it's about 7 little bunch is a little bit surprising to me. But also, you know, top 6 again, all playoff drivers and probably all trying to remain with each other. And although it might not be that significant to be within reach of one another. It definitely will be on the longer run as this round continues to play out and who decides to advance through to these championship rounds.
Yeah, these guys all on a different strategy, it seems like, than Colby Jackson. I'm not too sure if that strategy call is going to work for Colby Jackson, as he pitted a little earlier, but we'll see. He might find a way to make it work, and if he does, that would be very impressive.
Right now,
Justin Levine is going to go down pit road.
Yeah, and oh, he had a little bit of a moment. Sideways there on pit road entry, able to keep it going, but that definitely could hurt his time when coming off of pit road.
Yeah, that's going to cost him some time there, that slide, little half slide. And now I assume we're going to see some other drivers go down pit road here.
I would not be surprised to see some of these guys follow suit, and Joseph Kazi going to be one of those drivers. Derek Garrison, Reese Hamilton, Justin Day as well. So green flag pit stops now picking up a little bit here as we are at lap 107, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Schaefer come down here in the next few laps, as well as really everybody around him has pretty much come down pit road.
Yeah, the only two out there still, Jordan Berry and Reese Schaefer, the only two that haven't pitted yet. So we'll see how much longer Reese Schaefer runs it. I assume he's going to go a couple more laps here, but you don't want to run it too long, because if you run it too long, you lose a lot of time to be able to try and get back to these guys.
And we saw him kind of build up a little bit of a gap there before these green flag pit stops started, so he's definitely found some speed there, but depending on how long he stays out, that gap could definitely be erased, and he might have to go back to work to try and figure out a way around some of these other guys if he does lose a few positions under this cycle. Now Colby Jackson is going to be the big teller here when this cycles through. Only 3 trucks on the lead lap for the time being. That'll obviously change once guys come down pit road and get it all figured out, but we'll have to see what Colby Jackson looks like and how big of a gap he has between him and the guys behind him who pitted a little bit after him.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure the strategy called for Reese Schaefer, lap 110 out of 134, and he is still out there on the track. So this might be an odd strategy call from Reese Schaefer, but we'll see if it works. It could work, you never know. As you see Landon Matterson go by him, and now Causey's right behind him, who's already pitted.
There's Kazi going on by. Now it looks like Schaefer is going to come down pit road. So finally, with 25 laps to go, he will be hitting pit road, but it'll be interesting to see how much time he loses. Now the race lead will be cycling through to Colby Jackson in just a moment once he gets around Schaefer, who is still on pit road. So Colby Jackson, he's going to have a little bit of a lead here, and it's just really going to depend on how quick these guys behind him decide to push and gain up that lost time.
Yeah, Colby Jackson's going to do a great job of handling the lead for the moment. We'll see how long he can hold it, because again, he did pit earlier than a lot of these other guys, as now Reese Schaefer is exiting pit road. So we'll see if that strategy works out for him, as you saw Justin Levine just go around him and all those guys.
So the one we're going to need to be watching for to lead this pack to the back bumper of Colby Jackson is going to start off with Joseph Cossey, and then Jason Miz right behind him in that 9 black and blue and a white Ram truck. So look to see those names lead this pack back up to the back bumper of Colby Jackson, and they've definitely been a little bit quicker these past few laps over Colby Jackson, who has been out here for 14 laps so far, coming to 15 laps on those tires. So 10 lap difference over him and Kazi, and that'll be pretty interesting to watch here.
Yeah, and after these guys get to Colby Jackson, you'll have to expect him to maybe throw some blocks, as he tends to be a more aggressive driver than the rest. Joseph Kazi making quick work of trying to get to Colby Jackson, was about 0.3 of a second, and there's a caution. That just changes everything.
Caution out on the track, and we'll see who it for.
I believe it was the A truck of Landon Matherson.
We'll work to confirm that here and see what
it was
exactly.
Kazi and Matherson, actually.
Joseph Kazi and Landon Matheson. Yeah, I guess Kazi did lose all of those positions, and now he's scored back in 11th. So some big issues here for Joseph Kazi. But the more important thing is this is going to change the picture here. And Colby Jackson is really sitting in some prime position. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody maybe try and take two, but at least everybody will more than likely come down pit road here.
Yeah, and I've been watching the replay for a little bit, and that did not look good. That did not look very race etiquette from Landon Matherson's position.
We'll go ahead and take a look at it right now here. So going through turns 1 and 2, everything looks to be fine, and then oh yeah, I guess got squeezing the wall in, maybe took it a little bit further than it needed to go, and unfortunately Kazi, the worst one in that, and he's got some right side damage with that truck. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that we might see a big penalty for the A truck there, because that did not look the least bit professional, and I don't want to call him out because it could have, something could have happened with the truck. He could have gotten loose, but yeah, it did not look very good.
Take a look at it one more time here as they go through 1 and 2s side by side. Kazi definitely comes up a bit, maybe not any significant contact there the first time around, and then Matheson probably just wasn't too pleased with that, and unfortunately Kazi around into that outside wall, and that's going to change a lot of this race, and it'll be interesting to see how these drivers play out the remaining portion of this race.
Yeah, this will be a great run to the finish. We won't have a lot of laps left, so these guys are going to, I know, race very hard, as we're going to have should have 18 or 17 laps to go when we take the green flag. I believe it's going to be 18 laps here, and I expect to see some aggressive racing towards the finish here.
A little bit of a switch up towards the front. It's going to be Derek Garrison and Jordan Berry who are going to lead us to the green flag this time by. So things are about to get very more aggressive and probably more heated here, as well as we're going to have 18 laps to go when we get the green flag, and Pace Truck going to pull off on track here, and Derek Garrison, it's your call here as they're into the restart zone. Green flag racing once again. 18 laps to go to decide it here at Atlanta.
Derek Garrison gonna take the lead over Reese Schaefer and Colby Jackson. Jordan Berry right behind Colby Jackson. Reese Schaefer looking to make a move. He has probably some of the freshest tires between these three, and they're going to make it 3 wide. Kobe Jackson all the way at the bottom, but Reese Schaefer prevailing in that middle lane and able to get the lead from Derek Garrison.
That was pretty amazing right there. Schaefer able to split the middle and take those spots away from Garrison and Jackson. Now Jackson taking a look to the inside of Garrison for second place as they are going to be side by side in the corner. And now Jackson with the advantage. He's going to look to slide up in front of Derek Garrison, and Jason Miz now going to get to the back bumper of Garrison. So Garrison now going to have pressure from behind, but once again from the 9 truck of Jason Miz.
Yeah, and Reese Schaefer, Kobe Jackson pitting on that last pit stop. He's going to have some fresher tires, and he's going to look to run down the 17 truck of Reese Schaefer and maybe try and win this thing. It looked like Ron Holyfield got a little bit loose at the back of the pack, able to collect himself. And we will continue with the 23 of Derek Garrison now getting pressured from Jason Miz, who's going to try and take that 3rd spot away. Jason Miz, a guy who I know who wants to finish in the podium position. He's going to try and do it here tonight.
Miz to the inside, should be clear up off at 2, and yes he is. He's going to slide. Oh, Garrison with the bobble right there, so now Garrison back under pressure from Reese Hamilton and Justin Levine, but Miz able to clear for the time being, and Levine, Kazi, Garrison 3 wide off of 4, and now Garrison loses those 2 positions, so Garrison not with a good start here with just 14 laps to go. He's lost several spots in these last couple of laps.
Yeah, Derek Garrison falling. And he hasn't pitted since lap 106, so it might be just the fact that he doesn't have the fresher tires that some of these guys have. And he is just falling like a rock. All the way almost outside of the top 10 goes the 23 truck of Derek Garrison.
And you gotta wonder if they're planning on another caution, and there still can be time as there's 13 laps to go, but definitely as these laps wind down, it's going to be harder for Garrison to make up any spots if he does see a caution later in this race. Not a whole lot of time for it to happen as there's a battle up at the front. Colby Jackson, Reese Schaefer side by side, maybe a little bit of contact there through turns 3 and 4, and now Jackson to the point for the time being.
Jackson looking for a win in this series, and we've said it time and time again. He's one of the drivers that could make it, could win sooner rather than later, excuse me, for all these mess ups here. He could be winning a race sooner rather than later, and he is proving that point as Ozzy got loose back there, able to gather it back up, and Reese Schaefer now trying to put the pressure back on the 73 truck of Colby Jackson.
Schaefer taking a look to the inside off of 4, not able to make it work, slides up behind. Miz now looking to the inside of Reese Schaefer, going for that 2nd position, if not the race lead. Jason Miz looking very strong here on the bottom side. He's to the inside of Colby Jackson. He has a moment to slide up, and yes, he takes it. But now Schaefer looking to do the crossover as they head into turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, and Reese Schaefer might be able to get it done side by side. I just don't think he will, as that top side is going to prevail. So he's going to get right behind Jason Miz, and now Joseph Causey right back in it, pushing Reese Schaefer down the front straightaway as Jason Miz is going to look again to the inside. 3 wide behind them, though, with Reese Schaefer, Causey, and Levine. Justin Levine now in that 2nd spot. So he's doing pretty well, as he's going to try and look and win this race and lock himself into the final round of the playoffs. This, again, they are 3 wide. Miz everything he can to try and go get that lead. They're going to wreck Joseph Causey again. And that could be Causey's race right there. That could be it for Joseph Causey.
And just as quick as he was going up through the field, it's going to come and just completely hurt his chances here once again. And there was just so much going on right there for these guys with just under 10 laps to go, and you know, you can't really, probably you won't be able to put blame on anybody. It's just everybody was just trying to get every position that they possibly could, and unfortunately Kazi again with issues here in the last half of this race.
Yeah, and I don't know if Kazi used his fast repair after that Landon Matherson incident or not, but if he did, then that would this is probably going to hurt his race. But we shall see if he did. If he didn't, well, hey, you got a fast repair, you can go right back at it. But we'll see now if maybe you see a Derek Garrison. You know, we talked about him maybe not pitting, waiting for a caution. Well, he got that caution. Will he pit, take tires here or not? Hamilton, Levine, and Schaefer are going to go in, so they're going to go take their set of tires.
And they definitely needed that caution, and they definitely got it now. But it's going to be a heck of a shootout for these guys to try and make up some lost time there with just a handful of laps to go. Let's go ahead and take a look back at this incident here. So, sort of 3 wide there, coming off of 2. Levine with a little bit of a wall tag, and looks like Levine just tried to get off the wall, and unfortunately, just barely clipped Kazi with his left rear quarter panel, which then sent Kazi around. And you know, nothing either of those drivers did any wrong of. It's just, unfortunately, Levine was sucked into that wall, tried to get off of it, and Kazi just didn't have any room to work with, and unfortunately got a little bit of a love tap there from Levine's back bumper to his front bumper, and around goes Kazi.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because of that incident with Landon Matherson, it does not look like Joseph Kazi has his fast repair anymore. So he is still stuck on pit road fixing damage, and that's pretty much going to conclude his night. It's going to be a lot harder to get back to where he was in the top 5 with damage like he has on the truck.
Yeah, and that hit doesn't look as hard as some of these other guys have hit so far tonight, but I mean, that right front has definitely got some sort of damage. Could possibly have some underlying issues under that truck as well, but either way, like you said, already used that fast repair, so he's gonna have to sit there on pit road and get some of it fixed.
Yeah, it looks like the whole left side is off of his truck. So they're trying to do everything they can here to fix that number 3 truck. As we continue, Colby Jackson, our leader now, with Jason Miz right beside him, and I'm looking to see if maybe Miz makes a sporadic move here. Maybe he tries to take the lead away from from Colby Jackson.
I would not be surprised to see that, to be quite honest with you. I mean, we see Colby Jackson be super aggressive, especially on these restarts, but Jason Miz has been extremely fast here as well, so it's going to come down to a heck of a show. Then you got guys further back on new tires as well. We're in for a last 5 laps. That'll be pretty entertaining. Oh, and Miz and others with issues.
Big wreck down the front straight away, and Jason Miz, unfortunately, I thought maybe would get something done here. He spun first, and then it just was chaos right behind him.
And just as they were about to get going, we're now going to get another restart here, and that's definitely going to hurt Miz's night at a decent finishing position, as he's going to be further in the back, if not in the back now. So unfortunately for Jason Miz, that little bit of a tire spin there on that restart is just a killer end to what was going to be such a great night for him in that 9 machine. And you know, Jacob, these are things that you got to watch out for on these later restarts. There's not a whole lot of grip in this track overall, and when you add worn tires on a restart when trying to get up to speed, things like that will happen.
Yeah, I've had it happen to me in another league race at this same track. Or actually, I believe it was Las Vegas. Me and my buddy were up front, and the next-gen car, we tried to shift in the first gear, and we spun it right around on the front straightaway. So you always have to be prepared with the older tires trying to restart. And that's kind of what got these guys in the mess, was some older tires guys maybe trying to shift, step on the throttle a little bit earlier, and it just did not work, and there was a big wreck because of it.
And this will be pretty interesting here on this restart, now that we have some guys who made it through there who are on newer tires. And this is going to be such a big restart, not only just in general, but when they come to choose, you know, they're going to be able to decide which lane they want to choose in, depending on how things work out. If you're a guy like Derek Garrison who just came back and got tires, you could set yourself up to maybe make a move here for the race win if you're able to get around these guys. Obviously, it's going to depend a lot on what other guys decide to do and how these drivers make it through this first lap under green, but there is still a chance for some of these guys further back who just came down pit road to maybe have a shot at the race win.
Yeah, and you're looking at Reese Schaefer, Justin Levine, Derek Garrison, Joseph Causey, guys who pitted. Causey up to 7th place. So, I mean, that damage not all that bad, as he's now back up to 7th place. So good job for that. But one guy I'd like to take a second to talk about, and hopefully I don't jinx it, is that 37 truck of Aaron K. up here in 2nd position. I would be belated if we could get an interview with the Aaron K here tonight. So hopefully he can finish strong and finish in the top 3 so we can talk to him. But great job either way if he's able to keep it inside the top 10 or even the top 5.
Yeah, I think all these drivers in the top 5, or at least whole top 10, have been up there all night and are definitely deserving of a decent finish. And it's gonna get crazy and chaotic here for sure. But a big props to all these drivers who have continued to show up these past couple of weeks and continue to put on a heck of a show. I'm gonna go take a look at this real quick. Post-race coverage is gonna continue on the TSM at the conclusion of this race, so don't go anywhere. We'll have some post-race coverage and be able to speak to a few drivers as well.
Yeah, and that should be fun. I always love talking to the drivers after the race, getting their thoughts out there, so that should be fun.
All right, Zala, this is going to be a pretty chaotic restart. I'm not sure if you're ready, but I think I might be ready. Field into the restart zone. Green flag in the air. We're off and racing. Colby Jackson, Schaefer contact.
Oh, and Aaron K tagged him a little bit. The caution hasn't come out. No caution for the spin of Colby Jackson, so he's just going to have to gather up and go.
No caution with 2 laps to go. Schaefer able to get through there. Now the battle setting up for 2nd position between Causey and Justin Day. Causey has it. Justin Day wants it. 1 more lap to go here for Reese Schaefer.
And man, the seas just kind of parted for Reese Schaefer, and he was able to take the lead as the battle continues between Justin Day and Derek Garrison. Derek Garrison able to pull out ahead of Justin Day there.
Now Garrison, Hamilton, Day, all these guys just trying to make it around, but it's not going to matter because Reese is going to come home with the win. And then side by side for 2nd place, and I think Garrison might have gotten it.
Yes, Garrison did get it. So Garrison in 2nd place, Hamilton in 3rd, Justin Day 4th, Jordan Berry 5th. That is your top 5 here tonight. Unfortunately, I talked about Aaron K, and unfortunately I gave him the announcer's jinx there. Colby Jackson has spinning in front of the field, and that definitely is going to hurt. Truck finishing 13th. Those points kind of slipping away from him at the end of the race here.
And the driver who was able to not lose any points here is Reese Schaefer. And he's going to come around to the start-finish line, and he'll be able to burn it down here on the front straightaway for all those race fans after a crazy finish there at the end.
Yeah, that was a fantastic finish by Reese Schaefer, and, well, he is going to be locking himself in to defend his championship one race into the round. And great job for him. He will continue to fight for that streak of 4 in a row. Nobody else has won a championship in the Sunday Night Showdown series but Reese Schaefer. And we will see how it goes if he can continue that streak here again this season.
A little bit of a dual burnout right there with help from Colby Jackson.
Always great to see as he's going to continue to burn it down for the fans out there, do a little extra burnout. Giving the fans a show, and I mean, credit to the fans who stayed and watched this race. It was a great race all along, and it was very fun to watch.
Very fun to watch, and now we'll be able to hear from our race winner of Reese Schaefer. Congrats on the race win, Reese. That was a very intense restart there, and just overall intense race. How did you do it on that last restart?
What a whirlwind. I mean, it started off. Lap one, I knew, I saw the track temp was 131. I knew it was just so hot tonight, and hot Atlanta's, got its nickname, for a reason, and I wanted to see how saving the tires was, and so I kept using that first stage and saved an extra set when that caution came on lap 20 wise, and realized pretty quickly that speed was going to be the big factor tonight, and especially with the new tires and everything that went with it. So we got to the stage, finished P9, got a couple points, and I knew I kind of watched Derek and Justin how they battled early in the race, sitting from afar, and noticed that high line in 1 and 2 was good, but the low line was pretty good in 3 and 4, and I was able to. I think you guys saw I had really good pace. Kind of being on the low line, I felt like I was pretty confident down there, and we had a couple flurry of cautions. We were honestly we were looking pretty rough. I felt like I was in a pretty good spot before that caution came out. I don't know if I would have got back to the leaders or not, but I felt like I would have. And then that caution came out 120 wise, and I stayed out, and because I was only I think 3 lap old tires, and I felt confident that I could hang with it, and I could for about 5 or 6 laps or so, and then Colby got by me, and then Miz got by me, and then Justin got by me, then Hamilton and Causey, and so it was, it was kind of pretty down the water, and then, another caution comes out, and I'm like, okay, maybe we have a chance, and then after that, I went, pitted, and on that restart, Miz spun him up, and I snuck through, and then I was restarting P3 there, and at the end, and I didn't mean to get into Colby, but he said that he was so loose, he was just chasing up the track, and he got into me, and then the caution didn't come out, and I looked behind me, and everybody was gone. So lucky is the only way to describe it, but I felt like we were really fast, and I was up there definitely in the second half, and we won another one, and I'm super grateful, thankful. We can, never take winning for granted, and now I'm locked in the Final Four, I think, which is crazy to say, especially with plate track coming up here in a couple weeks. So.
And you talk about being locked into the Final Four, and that's definitely going to be the key takeaway from tonight, as you have 2 races left in this final round with Dover and then Talladega. So really allows you to be a little bit more unique and aggressive here in these next 2 weeks as you prepare yourself for that final round of the championship hunt and looking to defend it from last season and just kind of continue this hot streak of winning these championships. But what a statement from you and the 17 truck so far in these last couple of races. And before I let you go, is there any sponsors you'd like to thank or any shouts you'd like to give?
Yeah, of course. I like Mid-Michigan Milk Produce Association. They're always on the hood. Always love representing them. I always want to thank the One Team guys and everybody back in the Discord in the shop. And I always love racing with those guys. And we had such a blast all night. Things were a little more tense than usual, but that's it's playoffs and that's the way it is. And it's part of the nature of the beast, especially when we got so many competitive guys that love doing what they do. I also want to thank the family, my dad, my grandpa, my girlfriend Emily, everybody that supports me and tunes into the streams as much as they can. I love racing and it's just such a blast. And I just like tonight, I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I did. It was definitely chaotic out front of my windshield, so it was super fun, and can't wait to keep marching on through the playoffs here. I have apps. I want to say maybe it's Homestead. I don't know. Maybe it's Michigan. Maybe it's Michigan.
Dover.
Okay, see, I was totally wrong. My bad. Dover. Wow, what a great track. Oh my goodness. You want to talk about intense and super fun? That's gonna be a blast. So, yeah, I can't wait for Dover. That'll be man, I wonder. It's gonna be really interesting to see how this new package does at Dover. Probably, obviously, track position is gonna be really key, but and I know. I want to say it was last year I did a Dover race, and I saw guys like using the high line there in the truck and making it work. So you might see some late run movement, and really might open up there. So, and also, if you want to talk about a place that is just pure death, if there's a wreck at Dover, you're in it. It's just the nature of that beast. So that'd be super fun, and yeah, I want to thank you guys both again, Oscar and Jacob. I can't wait to go back and watch the finish. I hope. I know it probably wasn't as exciting, but I know leading up to it was definitely super fun. So I hope you guys had fun as much as I did, and hopefully I'll be talking to you guys next week. So.
Alrighty, Schaefer, thank you again for taking minutes to speak with us, and I can say we are both probably excited, or at least not super excited. Well, I guess not just excited, but super excited to see you try and defend this championship yet again.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I fortunate just to be back into it. It was as we all know, it was I wouldn't say it was my best season, but it was definitely an up and down season, and so the fact that we can defend a title even if we don't win it, that's all you can ask for. And so yeah, I'll start getting ready for the Final Four, but yeah, should be a bunch of fun, and I can't wait.
Alrighty, Reese, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get Zala. I think you're standing by with Derek Garrison, or actually, yeah, we'll go with Derek Garrison.
Yeah, we'll go get Garrison. That is correct. I am standing with our second place finisher. Although I have just seen some news that the race restart has not officially been confirmed yet, so we could be talking to our race winner, but I will continue to talk to you as you are our second place finisher, Derek Garrison, here tonight. Derek, how did this race go for you? We saw you struggle a little later on in this race, falling back a little bit with the guys on fresher tires, but somehow you were able to get a caution and get some fresh tires and finish second.
Yeah, well, at the get-go, man, I was probably trying a little bit too hard, and I think Justin Levine was taking notes, and he got in front of me there in the first stage and was able to put enough dirty air on me and take off, and I just kind of struggled from there on out. And yeah, I was thinking, man, there was going to probably be another wreck, so I held on to my last set of tires, and I did, and luckily it helped me, and somehow I got to second. I just kind of wish that last restart would have went a little bit different. Maybe could have gave Reese a little bit of a run for his money. But all in all, man, I had a blast tonight. It was really fun. I hope y'all had fun on the broadcast. I know that was a lot to cover, but yeah, just just wish that restart would have went a little bit different.
Yeah, and if there's one thing about this track, it is very tricky. You know, if you were to restart this race, you know, was there anything you would have done differently tonight to maybe get an edge on the competition here?
I really don't know. I've seen a lot of mixed strategy with people running down low and then a lot of people running up high. It's really hard to say. I really don't know. Just try to keep clean air on the nose and keep the tires fresh. I mean, that was really the name of the game tonight.
Yeah, and you still finished second, which is pretty dang good, if I do say so myself. You know, does this give you any type of momentum for Dover as you try to lock yourself into the final round?
Yes and no. I'm kind of heartbroken a little bit because I've been undefeated at this track since I started this series. So second's good, but I really wanted to win tonight. But Reese beat that record for me.
And Reese ended up beating that record. Well, before I let you go, Derek, is there anyone you'd have to thank here tonight for your second place finish?
Yeah, you, Jacob, and Oscar for putting on a broadcast. Bryce and all the admins that puts on a great league, all the viewers that watches on YouTube, and all the competition that joins weekly. We had a lot of fun.
All right, well, I appreciate you, Derek, and hopefully we will see you again in the top couple spots at Dover. I believe we are off next week for Easter, so it'll be 2 weeks' time. We will be racing at Dover Motor Speedway. So good luck for that one, and hopefully we'll see you back here again.
Yep, we'll be there at Dover, and thank you very much, Jacob.
No problem, thank you. And now I believe we will have Oscar standing by with our third place finisher, Reese Hamilton.
Yeah, I'm here with Reese Hamilton, and Hamilton, it looked to be like a pretty solid night for you all night. Able to kind of just hang around there in that top 3 to top 5 area, and able to come home with the third place finish here tonight. How would you sum up your night and how it went for you and your team?
Very happy with the top 3, but at the same time, kind of frustrated because the way the last couple restarts went, it was me and Schaefer out here on the bottom with the fresh tires, and I just hate that I didn't get an opportunity to, go for the win, but it is what it is. We sacrificed the first stage to save a set of tires, and, that ended up in us not getting any stage points, so I had to have a top 3 at minimum, but I really wish I had a shot to win there because I felt like I could have done something with them fresh tires, but third's all right.
Yeah, and you talk about the cautions there at the end, just not playing really into your positioning and what really you wanted to have go your way. But from a points perspective, I mean, a third place finish is not all too bad. Obviously, like you said, you didn't get you didn't get the stage points like you needed. But when you head into this round and you look ahead to Dover and Talladega, obviously Talladega is a wild card track. But what do you see you specifically need to do in these next 2 races to advance to that final round in the championship 4?
Yeah, I'm interested to see where we shake out after today. I don't have a clue what the point standings is going to look like after this race, but Talladega, you don't never know. But Dover, we hope we can go to Dover, and I feel pretty confident. And I've done pretty well on the tracks where you had to do some tire management. I feel like Dover could be that way. I've never been there in the truck, so we'll have to find out when we get there, I reckon.
Alrighty, Hamilton, before I let you go, is there any sponsors or shouts you'd like to give?
I appreciate y'all with the broadcast, man. It's really cool, both of y'all doing it, and I enjoy watching it back. So I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate everybody in the league. I look forward to trying to make the Final Four.
Alrighty, Hamilton, and I wish you the best, and hopefully we will be able to see you in the Final Four and at least give the other Reese a competition for that championship.
Yeah, it would be cool, wouldn't it? Thank you, sir.
Yes, it would be. Alrighty, folks. Thank you for tuning in here tonight, and we still got a few more things to go over. Now, Zala, you did make a good point to go over something, and they said that the restart was under review, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at that real quick. And I don't know if I really see anything too crazy
I would
here.
probably say what they're looking for is Reed Schaefer maybe crossing lanes before the start-finish line. So that would be the one thing I've been looking back at it as you were interviewing Reese Hamilton and Reed Schaefer numerous times to see if maybe there was anything that I could see. But from what an admin standpoint, what I think they would be looking at is that restart of Reed Schaefer moving up to the high side before crossing the start-finish line.
Yeah, and it's just such a hard thing to call. I mean, especially here, you've got so much tire spin ahead of you, and you're just trying to ease off the bumper. And obviously, I don't think Schaefer meant to do anything that would put him in a position for these guys to look at. But you just got to, realistically, at the end of the day, you got to play by the rule book. And if the officials deem that it was a lane change before the start-finish line, then they could revoke that win away. But either way, I mean, such a hard call to make. And when you come down to these things, it's just, you don't really have a whole lot of space to work with. Everyone's just trying to go for everything that they can, and it's going to be a tough call here for the officials, I think, and we're going to have to wait and see what they decide on.
Yeah, I want to see what they decide on. Obviously, it's probably not going to be done before we get done here, but man, if you're Reed Schaefer and you lose the win here because you moved lanes too early, I mean, that's got to be a kick in the gut, I'd assume, for him. So we'll see what the admins say about the restart, and if Reed Schaefer does end up losing that win, then it's going to be very unfortunate for him.
And definitely would be unfortunate, but I don't think it would be. I mean, it definitely wouldn't be what he would want, but I definitely could still see him making up any lost positions or points that he might lose from it. I mean, this is Reed Schaefer, and he is a champion, defending series champion for, 2-3 seasons now, and continuing to show. Yeah, 3 seasons, so continuing to show how good he is, even if the season, like you said, not the most dominating season like we've seen from him these past couple of seasons, but still here at the end, and when it counts, he's showing up and doing just exactly what he needs to do.
Yeah, I agree, and it's not going to hurt him that much, but still, that's definitely a kick in the gut. But we shall see. There's no official status yet, so unofficially, Reed Schaefer is our winner tonight.
And we'll go ahead and we'll go down the rest of the results here. And then, it's always so... Obviously, we say this, but every race is technically unofficial until the very end when the officials deem everything good. But especially with moves like these, it's always more unofficial until we get the last word. So obviously here, the unofficial results, Reed Schaefer with the win, Derek Garrison second place, Hamilton in third, Justin Day fourth, Jordan Berry rounding out the top 5. Then we head next with Justin Levine, Ron Hollifield, Joseph Kazi, Aaron K, Jason Miz are your top 10 drivers.
Yep, and then in 11th, you have the 47 of Jim Foskett. In 12th, the 88 of Keith Shoemaker. 13th, you saw it, Colby Jackson spinning the tires on the restart, and he will end up 13th because of that. 14th, one lap down, was Bryce Shoemaker, and rounding out your field was the 8 truck of Landon Matherson, not Austin Edstrom.
Yeah, apologies again for that, for having that name mix up on the scoring ticker there. We'll get that fixed. Our biggest mover at least our hard charger award, I believe, still will go to Justin Levine. And are we surprised by that? No. No, definitely not. And you see it here, 15th to 6th. Obviously, had a little bit lost there on that final restart, so didn't quite get up to as many positions as he had earlier for the positions gained, but still 9 positions gained this whole race in the fastest lap with the 31.624 seconds. So congrats to Justin Levine, and again, thank you to Raps by JB for presenting this award to us each and every week. Make sure you go to them for custom goalie mask designs or iRacing paint schemes, as they welcome everyone, and they always have something for everyone depending on your style. So don't feel afraid to reach out to them, and they always carry some beautiful paint schemes in this field. Well, Zala, that was a pretty interesting and entertaining race from start to finish, and as we head to Dover, I mean, I really don't know what to predict myself, and it seemed like tonight every playoff driver was up there at some point in one way or another, and I think that's going to continue as we go to Dover.
Yeah, I agree. Well, luckily for us, we have a week off for Easter. Hopefully everyone has a happy Easter. I do not personally celebrate Easter anymore, but if you do, I hope everyone has a great Easter. And yeah, we'll come back the week after at Dover, and we'll see what these drivers... I love Dover. So I know Reese Schaefer loves Dover. I love Dover about just as much as he does. So I think it's going to be a fun race to watch, and we'll see what these drivers can do in 2 weeks' time at Dover Motor Speedway, where I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
That it will indeed, and like Zala said, 2 weeks' time, and I know it's going to be pretty painful to have to wait that long, especially for some of these drivers who probably want to continue in getting it going. But, you know, hold on and join us back in 2 weeks' time, and we'll be right here on Turn Sector Media. And once again, I'm Oscar Jensen, joined by Jacob Zala here, bringing you tonight's race from Atlanta Motor Speedway with the Sunday Night Showdown Truck Series. And until then, guys, have a good rest of your evening or morning or whatever time it may be. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks' time.
You got a great car, great team. Let's go execute. Our time. We know what we got to do. Stay in the fight between the walls.
Time to turn the intensity up.
We'll fight till the end, no matter what happens. Good day to be in victory lane.
Green flag is in the air.
Driving with conviction.
Side by side, hammer down. The afterchecks are lit. Count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out.
Wheel to wheels, they come to the line.
What victory this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
Next flag is going to end it. Does he have enough? A dominant performance.
You gotta say now, baby. Let's go.
Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody pushing as hard as they can get it. One final shot.
Gotta earn this thing. Right here, Indiana.
It is all on the table.
A total 500.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.